With everything going on in today's world, I just don't get it. Why don't more parents or individuals encourage the younger generation to consider the military? I really just don't get it because the benefits are huge: education, career opportunities, stability. Yet, so many people overlook this option. In a time where good options are hard to find, why isn't this path talked about more? As an educator, I talk to the students every day about this particular um career field being an option for them, and they give me bogus answers. Even my own kids, I really just don't understand it. So let's talk about this in this video. Now that we're back, let's get into this video. And I apologize, I supposed to have been back doing a video, but as you know, the world's getting hit with this bug with the flu or whatnot. Man, I was knocked out for like a while. It had me less motivated to get on here and talk about these topics I love to talk about and keep it real. So let's talk about this military thing real quick. I really don't understand why we're not encouraging more. Now, did I serve? No, I did not serve, but my parents served. My dad served for 22 years, and a lot of my friends have served too as well. And by me being a real estate agent, I have helped out a lot of veterans become be homeowners or whatnot. And there's so many upsides and so many great benefits of being joining the military. And uh, I think a lot of people that haven't been or had a bad stint in the military puts a bad tang to it, or whatever word you want to say, and not so much encouraging our younger generation of that being an option, in my opinion. Because I talk about it every day, especially to these younger kids, of what career path they'll like to go in, especially in today's society and how hard it is to even get into a really career field. When you have AI going on so much, you have all these layoffs going on with the government. You know, Trump just got in and they're trying to reduce so much. And also, when school options, it's hard to even get accepted or have the funds even to go to school. Why not the military? The military allows you to go into the military. You can go to school for free through the military and get an education to have a leg up and go into a career, whatever your MOS is. And that's a whole nother subject, another video to talk about what you should actually go into a military for. That translates to civilian life. What does that look like? Because everybody doesn't stay in the military for a long time. It's not for everybody, but I think it's a great beginning to, after, if you don't know what you're doing after high school, to transition into that field there is going to the military, either branch, and talking to a recruiter, ask the important questions to see if that's a good fit for you. Or something else I learned too, because I didn't have this in my high school, is ROTC programs in high school. When I talked to the ROTC leaders at my school that I'm at, I was so surprised that not too many kids were taking up the opportunity to go to college for free through the ROTC program for free. Go to school for 4 years, and then after you get out, you go serve. She told me that for the last couple of years, a lot of kids at our particular school are not taking advantage of that. And I don't understand. I tried to tell I tried to educate that to my daughter too as well, because I really didn't have no funds like that, really to pay for school for 4 years. It is kind of expensive, especially if you don't know exactly what you're going to school for. So I say all this as in, why are you not encouraging it? I like to get the answers on this, like in the DMs. I like to know why. What is your reasoning why? And let's pull up this video real quick to see why the numbers are alarmingly low. Why the numbers are low. I like to play my videos and I like to use credible sources as news stations, news outlets. So let's pull this up real quick. So I got PBS coming on. Why recruiting confidence in America armed forces is
How to
so low
support
right
Ukrainian
now.
forces in the war against Russia. how to fend off sophisticated cyber attacks and counter China's growing military might. As Ali Rogan reports, just as important as these global challenges are the issues the military faces at home.
The all volunteer military has reached crisis levels of low recruitment, while at the same time, the American public's perception of the armed forces is increasingly divided. A recent Gallup poll found confidence in the U.S. military is at its lowest level in over 2 decades. Only 60% of people told Gallup they had confidence in the U.S. military. At the same time, some military branches are falling short of their yearly recruiting goals by the thousands. The Army is set to fall 15,000 recruits short this year. Matthew Gault is a writer for Vice and has covered the
Let's listen to
military
this
and
guy
its
right here talk
relationship
about
with the
this.
public for the last decade. Matthew, thank you so much for joining me. First, why are we seeing this record low confidence in the military?
I think there's a lot of different reasons. I think the probably the biggest one right now, this immediate drop, is the end of the war in Afghanistan, the American withdrawal from it, and how quickly the Taliban was able to retake it. There was a lot of really bad optics. There's a lot of terrible footage, a lot of horrifying stories that happened in the immediate wake of that. And like, when America loses a war, confidence in the military goes down. There's also a lot of culture war issues that are brewing around the military. And only 1% of the American population serves in the all volunteer force, and that creates a disconnect, especially over the last 20 years.
And so that's a good segue to my next.
Now, I know he did mention about the war, and a lot of people, a lot of kids or whatnot are scared. When I ask question, ask them why you don't go to the military. Well, I don't want to go to the war. Well, everybody doesn't go to get deployed or whatnot once they go in the military. A lot of that deals with your MOS, whatever your job field that you're going into the military for. So one thing we got to get back to and wrap things around is educating our young generation on how the military works and what field you would like to go in. Yes, that might be the scare point right there, everything that was going on there and what he just mentioned. But what other options do we have? You have a wars going on every day in the United States. Walking out in the street, going to the gas station or going to the store, you have crazy stuff that's going on here. So, what other options do you have?
Good segue to my next question, which is what about these low recruitment levels? What is leading to them?
A lot of different things. One is that the recruitment standards are pretty high. Pentagon estimates that only around 23% of youths aged 17 to 24 can meet the standards for the military. The reasons why are kind of all over the place. There's fitness standards that people can't meet. There's weird things like visible tattoos on the head or the neck or the hands can often kick people out.
Now, let
Um,
me stop it right there. Oh my gosh, tattoos are getting crazy. I'm seeing kids in my classroom in eighth, ninth grade with tattoos and spots that you can't even get a job. I have seen a kid that had a tattoo all over his neck and his all over his neck, arms, everywhere. And they're not getting educated on this. He just mentioned it too as well. Military don't want you to have all this tattoos on your body to get identified by. They're not even thinking about, or their parents or whoever is allowing them to get these tattoos, they're not educating them about their future. It's sad because I see it every day. I see kids with all these tattoos. When I was growing up, I ain't see really kids with having tattoos like that. Or if you can get a tattoo, you have to be over like after you graduated or whatnot. Kids were getting tattoos at a young age. It's like a cool thing to get.
criminal past criminal records, no matter how minor, and also a big one now is drug use. I'm not talking about just marijuana, which is legal in many states, but will prevent you from joining if you pop on a test. But also things that people take for their mental health. Big one being ADHD medication. If you've been on a stimulant in the past 24 months, you have to get a waiver, or they don't want you to join.
And is it the case that more and more people are using these medications who might have otherwise been uh, good recruits for the military? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people that smoke marijuana casually, don't have a problem with it, and are able, like, would be fine active service members. If they changed the recruitment standards, I think they would get a lot more recruits. You've already seen slackening in some places. Waivers are being easier to get. The Air Force recently lifted the ban on visible tattoos, so people can have tattoos on their hands or their necks and be able to join just fine. So things are changing, but it's slow.
And in terms of
That's crazy. The recruitment level is so low that they're doing waivers for kids that have tattoos on their neck and their arms. That's how bad it is. And also too as well, that he mentioned age, but actuality depends on which branch you go into. You can be 39 and 40 years old. Depending on, I think it's Army, probably Army has the higher age limit because we're so low on numbers that they changed the numbers of the age limit of people to get in the military because the numbers are so low. And I don't see nothing wrong with that because, like I said, what other options do you have out there to get into in a career to do to up your rankings and see the level that you can go up and see how you can make more money because it's hard out here. It's extremely hard. Kids are having a hard time getting jobs. Kids are having a hard time getting jobs and being full time. Kids are getting laid off. There's no encouragement as into going to a workforce and being able to eyeball and see that, oh, I want to be that manager or I want to be this because a lot of them higher end jobs want you to go to school. They want you to get certified in something.
And in terms of confidence in the institution, how much does your reporting show military leaders are paying attention to this and are looking at ways to address it? Is it something that they are actively thinking about on a routine basis?
So military leadership is incredibly aware of this. I would say that readiness around recruitment and the lack of confidence in the American military like feed back into each other and has become like a big culture war issue in the country. They are constantly talking on Capitol Hill about what they need to do, what they need to change, what they need to address to get people more involved in the military, to get the recruits that they need, and to prove to the American public its military is ready and is ready for the fight, is ready for the new great power competition that is taking over the planet.
And as you mentioned, the military is trying different
Now, let me go back to this video here as he's saying, I think the key thing is basically for me, I have to use education, is educating our kids about the military, the benefits of the military, and get more people in front of these Gen Z, this young generation of people that had a great life that benefited from the military. You have so many people that was in the military or people that never been in the military talking about the military, about why not to join, and their life not even good. So, and you have social media that's putting this bad tang about the military when what other options do you have? And when I say that is, there should be only two options technically. If you don't go to college, what are you gonna go to college for? Does it translate? When I mean translate, you have AI coming up. Are you gonna be an engineer? What field are you going to go into that's going to allow you to make six figures? Now, does the military allows you to make six figures? No, not really. You got to definitely get your ranks all the way up there. But one thing about the military, it has great benefits. So if you go in there with your head on correctly, you can and take advantage of the opportunities that the military give you. You'll live fine. The problem is with a lot of people is people go to the military with kids, end up having kids with the S, get married, get divorced, start doing stupid stuff to either get kicked out the military or they have they're mad at their boss or they're mad at the military because of their mentality or whatnot. Now they're out and not taking full advantage of the military. By me being a realtor, I have seen so many people that was in the military took advantage of it from buying a home, living up, double dipping as I call it, retire from the military and working civilian life and getting two checks, having health care. Now, you do have a bag tang of a lot of people that I read some messages, I read the comments of a lot of veterans, didn't get done right by the government and all that stuff like that. But me personally, I'm not feeding into all that so much because I look at my parents. My parents was in the military for 22 years and they had a great life. And a lot of other people that I know that I'm close to that was in the military had a great life too as well. by being in the military. It was a great choice. And even like my uncles and stuff like that, when I sit down and talk with them, a lot of them sit down and regret and say, I wish somebody pushed me to go into the military after I got out of high school. I feel like that would have been a good fit. It would have motivated me. A lot of these kids these days, the young generation, are lazy. They don't want that discipline. And I think that is the key thing, because at school, I see all these kids that's not disciplined, very disrespectful. Can they handle it? They may be scared to handle that and go into the military because of that. That might be one of the reasons. Might, because they don't really give me no real reason, to be honest with you. A lot of them are just scared because they got falsely information of the military. So let me pull up this next video real quick of this young kid that wrote a
Just
book.
wrote a book on why a career in the military is not appealing to younger Americans. It's entitled "We Don't Want You."
Let's listen to
Uncle
his
Sam examining the military recruiting crisis with Generation Z. Joining us now is the book's author, Matthew Weiss. He's an officer in the U.S. Marine Corps. And Joe has the first question for you, Matthew.
Matthew, thank you so much for your service. God bless you. We really appreciate it. And I appreciate you writing this book, too, because, you know, I will talk about how I don't like people in politics tearing down our military for political purposes. Other people say it's too woke, it's too this, it's too that. But you look at your book, and it's really complicated, and a lot of the challenges start with a generation. Let me just read really quickly what you said. Gen Z is the most anxious and depressed American generation as a constant influx of digital life takes its toll. Compared to boomers, Gen Z had 19% more reported loneliness. Suicide is second highest cause of death for Gen Z. So a lot of it has to do with mental health challenges?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. And when I looked at my generation and my impetus for writing the book, I basically thought, I am Gen Z. I have to speak for my generation. We get a lot of flack from both sides of the political aisle. We get a lot of flack from our elders. Who are we is basically what I tried to sit down and initially write. And then why is Gen Z not joining? You point out mental health. That is a huge reason. We are struggling. We are the first generation that came into elementary school with social media, with iPhones. The constant pinging of likes, the social feedback of comments on Instagram, on Facebook, that causes a big mental health gap. And so as a generation, we're struggling to sort of find our identity. And to ask our generation to serve is becoming a bigger and bigger challenge. So I wrote the book hopefully to shed light on this idea and explain ways that as a military and as a society, we can come together again, really unite as an American generation, as an American society, and encourage and promote service. So I offer a lot of solutions in the book of things that society and the military can do to really bring people together.
Matthew.
Now, real quick, and I talk about this so much, mental health is one. He talked about social media, two. Social media, I believe, has played a huge part in these kids' kids today. There's so much negativity, fake scam stuff that goes on social media that kids are getting directed in the wrong direction. Regardless of how much positive or how much we talk to them, social media plays a huge part. You don't see a lot of. I'm gonna stay on the military side. You don't see a lot of positivity in the military part on social media about getting their rank up or about them doing this or doing that, or I took advantage of this, I got my education from this. You don't see a lot of that on social media about the military and them benefits of why I think kids should take advantage of that or look into it. Some of them don't even look into it. Some of them don't even look at that as an option or go talk to a recruiter to sit down with them to figure out, is this a good option for me? You can still go and you can still do nursing, you can still do engineering, you can still do IT, you can still do cybersecurity, you can still learn AI. All that through the military. You don't have to stay in the military for a long time. If you just want to go to the military to try it out, to travel the world, and take advantage and utilize the benefits, you can get out in 4 or 5 years. But you need to have a plan when you get out. What is your plan? What are you going to transition to? Because if you don't have a plan, you need to might as well stay in. You got so many people that gets out the military and lost, and now they regret, like, oh, I should have stayed in. So why not the military? Please tell me why not. Now, did I try to join the military? When I was in college, I did try to join the military. I tried 3 times. I basically running away from a situation I was in college. And it wasn't meant for me at that time, because at the last time I didn't pass the test. I just went to college. I got back approved to go to college and I finished college. I had good grades and I graduated. Now, that wasn't for me. Wasn't in God's plan for me to go to the military. Did I try? Yes, I did try. So I'm not advocating something that I would not do. Like I tell my students, I don't tell my students nothing that I wouldn't do. Did I try to go to the military? Yes, I did. I tried to go to the military during Obama administration when he got elected in. That was me. That was when I was trying to go in 2008, 2000 and was it 2008. 2008, I tried to go in the military and it just didn't work out. But I'm not regretting any of that. But I definitely would have went to the military, hands down. A lot of my good friends was in the military and they got great benefits from it and learned so much, met so many people. So I know I've been talking a lot in this video and talking about the military and an option for your kids and our younger generation, because a lot of our kids are at home not doing nothing, or they don't know what they want to do. They don't understand. So why not take advantage of that and travel the whole world? And don't generate debt. That's the key. Don't generate debt and don't have no babies. So I hope you guys like this video. Please hit that like, subscribe button below. I feel much better. I ain't sick anymore. I'm back popping out these videos. I got more for you. I know I rhymed a little bit in this video, but I wanted to get this message out. I hope you guys like this message, and I hope you guys thinking about or consider the military. Find your recruiter locally, the Navy, the Army, the Marines, I can't think of the other one, but any one of them options, or even the reserves. There's a lot of people in the reserve, so don't discount any one of them. Think about them options, you guys, because what is your other option? Peace. I'm out, Mr. Wright.